Our mark here Thursday, July the 23rd, going on 8 a.m. Eastern. And let's have a look how the markets shape up this morning. Starting on the US dollar index. And here you can see strong day on the index. US dollar fighting back, gave up some gains yesterday. Uptrend in place and still trading above the ascending trend line, which I put in from about a week ago. Tested again this morning, came down to 174. There's the support, but as you can see now, taken out yesterday and the previous day's high, looking up at resistance at 101.22. So US dollar on a strong footing going into the US session this morning. Let's have a look at the S&P 500. We're looking at the futures market for now. Still a good hour and a half till Wall Street opens up. Yesterday, you see a doji candlestick, not a narrow range, and closed back where it opened today. Red candlestick, and in futures trading, given up the gains from 2 days ago, earlier this week. I've got support at 7,488. I've got resistance at 7,550. There is the downtrend in place, the strong support level, which has been tested but protected by buyers so far since the beginning of July. We'll see whether this sell-off continues or whether there's a bounce once the US session gets underway and Wall Street opens and buyers do step in. Inverse relationship, strong US dollar, weak equities for the start of the day. Let's have a look at gold. And there again, you see the inverse relationship, strong US dollar, weak gold today. Given up yesterday's gains, I've got resistance at 4,142 and I've got support at 4,075. Strong US dollar may see more profit taking, the sell-off extend below this support level, and that would be to maintain below the 4,100 is what if sellers stay in control today. If we do see a bounce, perhaps from strong to weak US dollar, could be something that starts off the bounce here and an interest in gold again, still maintaining its safe haven status. We got the geopolitical uncertainty, the conflict in the Middle East. If buyers do step in, they'll be looking back up at the above the 4,100, looking up at resistance sitting at 4,142. Brent oil, the demand for oil continuing, driven by the geopolitical conflict, unrest in the Middle East, perhaps even escalating somewhat now that the Houthis are involved. We saw two tankers struck yesterday in the Red Sea, and there's the result of that. You can see the forward-looking oil market expecting the worst, a disruption in production, a disruption in supply and in shipping. And there we see today 93.15. There's the resistance level, higher highs, higher lows. Should status quo continue, buyers will be looking up at that all important and pivotal 100 level. Things turn around, possibly good news potential of some kind of a settlement, a de-escalation, sellers will look to get back below the 90 level. But for now, strong uptrend and still in place. Let's have a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin continuing from yesterday's sell-off. There you can see uptrend was in place overall since the low down here at 57,000. We've seen an uptrend, few dips along the way, but higher highs pretty much all the way up until the start of this week at 66.7 thousand. Yesterday, some profit taking gave up and continuing today. and sitting at a pretty significant level. The support at 65.3 has been a previous resistance before. We'll see whether buyers do step in. A bounce up off this 65.3 support area, and if buyers can get back up above the 65, 66 and get back to testing that 66.7 thousand on the way to perhaps even 68,000. But so far over the past 2 days, yesterday and today, bit of a sell-off, could be continued profit taking. We'll see if we do get a bounce up off the support area and buyers can get back up to test this resistance area. Good trading, and I'll see you at the end of day.